Hi, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to go over the pros and cons of living in Philadelphia in 2021. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are again. Welcome back. I hope you are having a great day so far. I am having a great day myself. Thank you very much for asking. But regardless, I wanted to, I did a video when I first started this channel for pros and cons in living in Philadelphia. And at the time, it wasn't really the best video. Like the video quality was pretty poor. I was doing it in my living room and now I don't have this whole setup now. So I figured that why not just do a refresher and with having just going over some pros and cons again of what it's like to live in Philadelphia, I guess post-pandemic-ish, I guess. So before I get into it, if you could please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps me out. It helps with the YouTube algorithm because we know that all these social media platforms, they run on algorithms. So the more you like it, the better I do better. So, but thank you again, and please hit that like button. And here we go. So I wanted to go over 3 pros and 3 cons. And if you watched my original video, some of these pros and cons may not be too much of a difference because that was taken like last year. So it's this year, 2021 at the time of this filming. So things are still pretty much going to be the same as to, like, of course, Philadelphia is rich in history and culture, and we have the restaurants, we're really close and we're really affordable. So that's some of the pros, but regardless, I'm going to get right into my top 3 pros of what I love about living in Philly. So my number 1 pro is that it's still relatively affordable to live in this city, and what I always say that compared to like other metropolitan cities, like neighboring cities such as New York City and like places in Maryland and DC and whatnot, which is relatively close within this northeastern corridor of the northeastern seaboard. So regardless, Philadelphia is still relatively very affordable. We have more affordable housing. So whereas it would have been so much money, you'll be spending $1 million to buy a house or an apartment in New York City, you don't have to spend that much to buy a house in Philly. And plus you may get some land if you buy within the surrounding areas of Philadelphia, you know, the metropolitan area of Philadelphia. So, which includes the Philadelphia suburbs and the main line and whatnot. So, but regardless, we are still very affordable compared to other cities in regards to property tax. And I'm speaking specifically for Philadelphia County. Property taxes in the city of Philadelphia is extremely low. But, you know, on the other side, we also have other taxes that we do get hit with, which can be a con, which is obviously the wage tax, the soda tax. And when you buy a nice property in Philadelphia, we have a hefty transfer tax, which is 2.14% on, you know, for one side. But if you're buying a house where you have to take care of both transfer taxes, it is 4%. It's like 4.28%. So that is pretty high to buy a house in Philadelphia, but regardless, you're getting low property taxes, which could be anywhere, which could be a fraction of what you're going to pay in the suburbs yearly. So, so regardless, we're still affordable. Our cost of living is still pretty reasonable. So that is that for that pro. So number 2, our culture and spirit is still pretty good. Like for Philly, we're still pretty resilient. People that's been living in the city, born and raised. We love our city. We love our culture. We love our sports teams. Yay, yay, yay. Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and the 76ers. So we're all about that. And, but regardless, since the big P and the big C, you know, fill in the blank, rolled into town last year, things have definitely shut down, and we may do so regardless, given with all the other stuff that's happened during the past year. Our culture and spirit is still pretty at an all-time high. We love our city. We do take care of our city. We have a lot of pride in our city, and as you can tell, it is the, you know, if you talk to anybody from Philly, a lot of people, they just love the city. Going on to pro number 3, proximity to other areas is still the same, relatively the same as, you know, before. It's like you can't change the location. I mean, you can still get to the Jersey Shore within less than 2 hours, down to the shores in New Jersey or in Delaware a little bit longer, and you can take really great day trips to Maryland and DC and New York, as you know, and we're really close. It's not that long. It doesn't take that long to hop on a train to get up to New York or take a road trip down to the shore. So regardless, we are still pretty close to those other things. And the great thing about, well, I guess it's the great thing and also not so much of a great thing, because you still got to pay the bridge tax, like the toll to get over the bridge, come back into Philly, but Jersey has really low gas prices. So, but you gotta pay $5 to get back to Philly. So, but if you work in Jersey and they pump your gas for you in Jersey, so plus if you're in Jersey. Okay, so moving on to our cons. 3 cons that I have. Our number one con, number one con is the trash. The trash situation is horrible in Philly. We are a pretty trashy city. So you'll see people throw, like, you'll be driving down the road and then all of a sudden you'll see somebody throw like their Dunkin' Donuts stuff out the window of their car while they're driving, you know, 40 miles per hour down a road, and they don't care. Some people just don't care. So, and regardless, even with, like I said, from last year, we had, you know, because of the shutdown and the big PC and fill in the blank there, their trash situation has been really bad. So there will be times where it's like we would put our trash outside our house. We get our trash picked up on Fridays, and during the shutdown and with everybody having, you know, people getting sick and whatnot and being scared, they were really understaffed, and there will be times where our trash will sit out like until our next scheduled day, which is like the next week. So you'll have trash sitting out there, and then you have raccoons, you have cats, you have possums, like all types of wildlife that will come up and rage through your trash and leave all this trash and garbage all up and down the sides of the street, which is not very pleasant. You get out of your car, you're stepping in trash, and sometimes the trash people, yes, they do a great job, but sometimes they don't necessarily clean up after themselves if not a piece of trash gets into the truck. So, but regardless, that is but yes, we are pretty trashy. And part of me feels like it's not getting any better. So, going on to number 2 right now. Number 2, which is a really unfortunate thing to say. It's really unfortunate. It is very sad, and I hate to even mention it, but we have been having an increase in gun violence as of late, especially since it's not really a topic that we like to pride ourselves saying that, oh yay, but you know, regardless, we do have there's been like a lot more gun violence in our city because you know, again, people are, you know, some people just don't have enough, and they feel like that they need to, you know, and some people just have really short fuses. Like the events of last year has really taken a toll on people within our city, and it's just been a lot of violence, which is really sad, and it's like, it makes you scared. So and it's really depressing, because it's like, sometimes it's young kids that are you know, unfortunately getting hurt and losing their lives, and it's just, they can be just doing like, you know, the most basic thing. They can be playing outside, and, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, they get caught. But, you know, that's what happens. That is just like the really sad thing that happens in like major inner city areas. And, you know, and it's just like, and the city council and, you know, the grassroots people that live in the neighborhoods. They're doing their best to try and combat this and trying to figure out solutions as to how to make this better. So that is really a sad thing. But regardless, on the bright side, Philly is very block by block, and it's like there's ways to be safe. You know, I have 3 kids. My kids, I keep them safe. I do the best I can. They don't go outside. They don't like. We just keep to ourselves. So, but not to, you know, do all that any longer. But okay, moving on to number 3 is that on the brighter side of things, and I guess this is not really the brighter side of things, but there are speed cameras on the boulevard now. On Roosevelt Boulevard, that's Route 1 in our area, that leads from, that basically is like a vine off of a road off of 76 going towards Northeast Philadelphia, and takes you up to Northeast Philadelphia and into Bensalem. So up and down that road has kind of been really notorious for speeding, and people do get hurt. A lot of people, because you have like 4 lanes. You have, well, there's 2 inner lanes that goes up, obviously up and down, and then there's the outer lanes that go up and down. So it's a big road, and you know, during the times you can weave in and out of the inner and outer lanes if you need to get off to a particular point of the boulevard. But regardless, now since of last year, because a lot of people were getting hurt and a lot of people were getting killed because of the accidents and stuff, because people were just speeding and racing down this road, the government put in these speed cameras. So the speed cameras, you can't ride for the majority of the boulevard, you can't ride any higher than, it's a 40-mile-per-hour road. The highest you can really go is 50, because if you go with a 51, you get a ticket. And you know what? How you want to know how I know? Is because I got caught with that. So going 50, and then you get the camera, they get your license plate, you get a bill like the next month. We got caught with that. So, and it's not a cheap bill, it's $100 a pop. So the city of Philadelphia is making money through PPA again with speed cameras. So we have red light cameras already. We already got like PPA, you know, doing their thing and being notorious, but now we have this camera. So yes, we have these speed cameras now on the boulevard because people were getting hurt. And yes, you can't go any higher than 50 miles per hour. So that is a con, that you can't speed no more on the boulevard anymore. Not to say that, you know, you can do it safely, but there's people that go crazy. But regardless, thank you. So that is it. Thank you so much for bearing with me and watching this video. Thank you again. And if you can please do me a huge favor and please hit the like button. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you like and what you don't like about Philly. What do you think about these pros and cons? And maybe some things that I could have touched on that I didn't really touch on. But regardless, and also, please, if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that when you know when I drop a new video. I do new videos every week. I know I've been slow lately, but you know, some things have happened. So, but regardless, here I am. I'm back. This is my #1 commitment. But anyway, regardless, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good one.